Welcome to the grand finals of Starcraft 2 in MLG Dallas. This is GG Your Face, and the players are TT1 in the red playing at the 12 o'clock position, and Jinro playing as the blue Terran at the 3 o'clock position. The map is Metalopolis, and this is a really close set of spawning positions. It does encourage a lot of harassment, and another good thing about these spawning locations is that when you expand, you will be expanding away from your opponent unless you're taking the yellow high yield expansions in the middle of the map, in which case that will set off sparks, and this is going to be a really action-packed game between these two players as they both have very explosive styles. We do see the barracks is going to be building by the SCV along with the gateway. It is often a good idea to keep the gateway away from the edges of the map, because if you leave the gateway at the edge of a map, you would risk having banshees being able to shoot at it, and you would not have the stalkers or the sentries or the ground forces to shoot back at the banshees, because the banshees range is pretty wide. And we could see that Liquid Jinro is scouting with his SCV to the closest location, whereas TT1 senses danger and he's not going to scout the closest spawn location. This is probably because he assumes that his opponent is going to be scouting to him if he were at the 9 o'clock position. That's why he's going to guess his opponent is at the 3 o'clock position, which is a very, very good guess. Orbital Command is currently upgrading from the command center, and the assimilator is already down for TT1 as well as Jinro. I mean the refinery for Jinro. And cybernetics core is coming online at the back of the base, and the probe is inside the base of Jinro, and Jinro will be microlling this SCV, this marine, to try to take down that probe. And we do see one supply depot blocking the way of the probe, and the probe is desperately trying to stay alive and get some more scouting information before it goes down, but the marine is not going to let him, and a second marine is going to come out here and probably corner the probe, and the probe is going to die. And he does see there is a factory going back in the smoke. This factory probably not going to be attached to a tech lab, because that is a little bit awkward of a position for it to be attached. He might be thinking about floating the factory over, dropping off a couple of Hellions for a surprise visit to the base of TT1. We'll really have to wait and see what he wants. Or maybe it could be a scouting structure, as the factory does have a ton of HP, 1,250. And we do see Warp Gate is being researched, as both players are approaching a macro stage of the game, it seems, because there's not that many early aggression units. There's a couple of Marines and a bunker going down for Jinro at the moment. If we take a look at the army size, 23 to 28, the Protoss player is ahead a little bit, as he does have the Chrono Boost to help him boost a lot of probes out very, very quickly. And if we take a look at the income right now, both players are on 2 gas already, and TT1 does have a couple of more harvesters, and that is what's giving him a slight advantage in terms of income. But the advantage is easily negated by the mules of the Terran race, and we do see the factory is being floated over into the base of TT1, whereas TT1 is going to poke around with the stalker. Ooh, walks up the ramp. We'll see that bunker and will disengage. And because Jinro has his factory floating over, he will see that his opponent does have 2 gateways along with a robotics facility. And this one sentry is going to be very lonely as he's shooting down the factory. We do see additional barracks, as well as one starport is being constructed with a tech lab, so we might be seeing some banshee harassment with or without cloak. And an observer is being chrono boosted out, and the factory is going to deny the expansion for TT1. That is a cool strategy. It does give you a couple of more moments if you're not going to go mech. And no, he actually does live off, because there is a substantial number of units hitting it. And the observer is going to go inside the base, and at the same time Jinro is going to be moving a couple of marines almost as if they're getting in position to shoot down the observer. And the observer is going to be over here, and ooh, a scan goes off. Very, very nice play there by Jinro. I think he knows the timing of the observer extremely well, as he was fully prepared for that. And TT1 is going to be setting down a nexus at his natural expansion. TT1 also has a probe at the middle of the map, and that factory once again is floating around, checking it to see if his opponent has expanded, and he has confirmation that his opponent has expanded, and he has recently started the command center himself. At the current moment, we see 1 tech lab, 1 reactor attached to the barracks, along with a starport that is building a Raven as well as a Banshee. Cloak has not yet been researched, and the factory is still at the most northern part of the map. And if we take a look at the income tab right now, both players still relatively the same. The Protoss is still ahead, and that is because he does have a couple of more probes, so he will make a couple of more minerals per minute. And we do see the Marines are patrolling with the Raven, as he's unsure about what his opponent is going to do, and I think this is to prevent any potential Dark Templar drops or any funny business in the middle of his base. And there's one probe perhaps scouting for proxy barracks. Oh no, he's going to be putting down a pylon. This pylon is a really good idea because most of the time, if your opponent is at the 3 o'clock position or southeast of you, he's most likely to attack from the southeast position. And if you can have a couple of pylons spread out through the map, you'll be able to warp in some units perhaps from behind the enemy lines or behind from when the enemy is attacking you. So you can try to close him off and surround him if that's what you're looking to do with Zealots especially. And a couple of Banshees is going to be coming out for Jinro, as one Banshee is already parked at the northern part of the map, and there's going to be one Banshee coming into the base as he's building more barracks and more bunkers. We do see now 3 barracks coming online for Jinro, and Jinro's going to come in here and get some probe kills. He will get a couple with this Banshee. Ooh, he only got 1 that time, and the Stalkers are in position along with the Observer. Very, very nice play there, as both players are transferring some probes and SCVs to the other base, and this Banshee is getting very, very annoying for TT1 very quickly. He doesn't have that many units inside his base. He does have 1 over there, and he's going to try to take it down, but there's another Banshee shooting at this pylon over here, and that will go down relatively quickly, as it is unchecked at the moment because there's another Banshee that is keeping TT1 busy, and he's forgetting about this pylon a little bit. I think he's decided to let it go, and the pylon will go down, but he is not yet supply blocked. He is not where he likes to be. He is about 2 away from the maximum, and this factory will spot the pylon at the edge of the map at the most northern leftist expansion. And 3 barracks, 2 with tech labs right now. The third one is going to be a tech lab as well. And it looks like both these players are content to sit on their 2 base and do what they want to do with the strategies that they have laid out beforehand. There's not too much scouting going on, and this this factory is setting down. There is going to be a Colossus on the way for TT1, as he is going to be chrono boosting that. He does have a couple of chrono boosts, as he is on 2 Nexus, and he just used 2 of those chrono boost on the Colossus, as well as the thermal. Oh, no thermal lance upgrade just yet. And we do see there's 1 Banshee up here, and there's also 2 Banshees at the mineral line, and there's 2 Banshees at the mineral line is going to actually do much more damage. And there's 1 Banshee here attacking a pylon, and that pylon will go down relatively quickly. Terran is very versatile and very, very good at harassing, especially with Banshees. Even if you have a couple of forces such as Stalkers and Sentries, it's often difficult to spread out the units exactly the way you want it to. Once again, going for those pylons at the edge of the map. Ooh, almost sniping a Stalker there. Very, very close to the left of the Stalker at 22 HP. I think he's going to try to come in here and get the snipe, and no, he's going to back off. As both players are macroing up pretty well, we do have an army size of 109 versus 114 at the moment. And a couple of more drone probes are being transferred to the newer base, as he does have 2 Colossus, some Zealots, but the Zealots don't have charge yet, as Concussive Shell is being researched. I think he's going to probably do a push relatively soon, as possibly maybe even now, but I think it might be better if he waits for the Concussive Shell to finish. The Thermal Lance is starting for the Protoss player TT1, and he still does not have charge. That would be a huge factor for these Zealots, because charged Zealots are much more valuable than non-charged Zealots. And if we take a look at the army size right now, 126 to 127, and we're going to see a huge engagement. There's going to be 3 Colossus, which really will be the key to the battle. If the Terran player can take down the Colossus fast and furious, then he will be able to have a tremendous advantage, because that is the main damage dealers for the Protoss player. He does have a lot of Stalkers and Zealots versus a lot of Marines and Marauders, but that's not really going to cut it, because Micro will be able to allow him to do a ton of stuff. And we do these 3 Colossus. Ooh, I think that was a little misclick by TT1, as he loses 1 Colossus without returning any fire. And some of the Stalkers are coming in here, and a 2-point defense drones are set, and the only thing that can damage the point defense drones at this point are the Sentries, and the Sentries are getting focused fire down by the Marines and Marauders. Even though a couple of force field went down, I think the damage has been done. The point defense drones are still active at the moment, still taking down the fire from the Stalkers, and the Colossus are gone. And this is a very, very nice play by Liquid Jinro, completely shutting down the defense of TT1. Hope you guys enjoyed that game, and I hope you do follow me to the next game. And also, if you like what you see, please do subscribe. And also, I have a Twitter account. If you want to keep updated on what games are coming your way next, please do subscribe and follow me on Twitter. Thanks, and I'll see you guys at the next game.